Hi, I'm Chloe, and I'm hosting Awakening Cosmic Reality show today. You can also follow my YouTube channel at Ileana Magic, and I'm honored to introduce you all to Mahalia, Michael, and Brain-Bliss. But first of all, I want to tell you a little bit about my experience with Brain-Bliss. Mahalia is a friend of mine, and she has also given me about 8 healing sessions. And so far, it's been an amazing experience. I strongly support what Mahalia does. For myself, what I experienced a deeper sense of peace and relaxation. I also felt an improved sense of confidence. Mahalia works with the brain and really helps to heal different aspects of the mind. I also felt that my voice really improved and my confidence with my voice, because I'm a singer as well. So many things, and you can just really feel the healing energy from Mahalia. I really recommend her work to anyone, no matter what kind of issue you have. Mahalia will help you to heal different aspects of your mind. But anyway, before I get ahead of myself, I'm going to ask Mahalia to talk about Brain-Bliss. And can you tell me, Mahalia, what it is and what you do for your clients?
Thank you, Chloe. That was so sweet of you, and I'm glad you've benefited from Brain-Bliss and the light sound.
Very much so.
Oh, the light sound that comes from the whales and dolphins is very profound. It's an incredible intelligence that they are here to share with people now to help them actually unravel sometimes the hurts and pains of history that everybody encounters, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And so what the whales and dolphins do, the sounds that I produce from my voice based on my experience with them, is clear away the heaviness of our emotional history, like I said, and then help to lighten our inner biology and lighten the regenerative power of our brain, the neurons, the cells. And when that happens, a person's inner body, which is like an instrument, like a musical instrument, gets more in tune. And as the inner body and brain gets more in tune, their inner reflection goes into their outer world, and people start having better life experiences, start materializing or manifesting greater quality situations in their life, greater relationships with people, and lots of improvement in life areas.
Wonderful. And how did you get into this? Like, can you tell me a little bit of the backstory on how you started Brain-Bliss and why you're so passionate about it?
I recovered my own brain from 7 major head injuries.
Wow.
Some serious car accidents, sporting accidents, whether it was heading soccer balls or snowboard racing or mountain bike racing, lots of sporting injuries. And what happened is my brain really began to deteriorate. But it took about 20 years with gradual buildup of post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms to where I had panic attacks, shortness of breath, fears, phobias. I felt like I had early onset Alzheimer's, short and long-term memory loss. I was stuttering. I had really difficult time forming proper long sentences. And I was degenerating. My brain just felt fragmented.
Right.
So I was introduced to sound by working with Dr. Swingle, who has an office in Vancouver. He did biofeedback with my brain for the first time, and that's when I learned about brain waves. And as he applied sound just with wearing headphones into my ears to stimulate my brain repair, I began to speak better gradually. I began to get my memory improved. I could colors seemed more vivid and brighter. So that was the beginning of a journey that took me about 5 years to repair my brain and body, because I also had a broken heart. And broken heart is a really...
It's pretty common, I think.
Yes.
With a
So
lot of people.
It's a huge element with the Brain-Bliss protocol, with our 3-month educational programs and our one-on-one consulting experience, is to focus not only on the brain up here, but the brain here. And bringing it all together.
Beautiful. Well, your voice is just amazing. The tones that you produce from your voice and the way that those tones penetrate the body and heal the body, mind, and spirit, it's absolutely incredible. I've been doing healing work for quite a few years, and I'm a healer, Reiki healer, crystal healer. I do many different modes of healing, and I've never experienced something so unique as what you offer, Mahalia. Just the beauty of the tones and the way that they impact and heal on so many levels is just incredible. Can you tell everybody a little bit more about what a healing session looks like? Like what different types of healing services you offer through Brain-Bliss?
Absolutely. So our 3-month program is one of my favorites because people can call in from the comfort of their home for a 30-minute call where they get incredibly awesome brain education. I'm the one speaking and sharing the brain education, all the things that I've learned over the years of repairing my own brain, maturing my brain, my body. And so there's an educational element. Then I give people tools about how to apply the strength as their neurons start to fire and rewire differently, because we do share the whale tones on the calls, we share the dolphin tones on the calls, and they are, as you said, they're quite potent. So we don't share too many, just enough to allow for that gentle dissolving of what I call the shadow frequency. Shadow frequency is basically the heaviness of trauma that gets stuck in people's quartz crystalline structure of their physical biology.
Right.
And it's rooted in science so much. So as that cleans away, the person's body begins to brighten, and then that's when the dolphin tones come in. So I didn't share this yet, but it was as I was healing and repairing my own brain that I got to spend 6 months in Hawaii, the big island, and swimming with the dolphins in the wild and listening to the whales singing underwater, because they get close enough to shore that you can hear them singing.
That's beautiful.
Yes. And it was this one day swimming with a dear friend, Lee, who's been with the dolphins there for about 40 years, said we were swimming, and it was this very stealth tribe. We call it a tribe of dolphins. They were pristine. They were clean. They were swimming in such uniform, and they had such a high frequency. So these dolphins, Lee said, he'd never seen any like that before. Usually a group of dolphins have cuts or like maybe a shark attack or on their skin, and there's fish stuck to them. These guys were incredible, and basically came out of the water that day, out of the ocean, completely lit up in my brain. I was in bliss all day, and later that night I worked on a friend. She'd asked about an issue she was experiencing, and I'd already been in the health and wellness world as a professional for 20 years. So I had, some other abilities, but I all of a sudden had this X-ray vision ability.
Wow.
Or remote viewing ability after swimming with this particular group of dolphins.
So do you feel like they transferred some of their knowledge, or were they some kind of highly intelligent form of dolphin, perhaps? Or
I think a bit of both.
Yeah.
I think they're very advanced. Dolphins in general are highly advanced, highly intelligent. It was Buckminster Fuller who said that it's dolphins that are going to change humanity, change the planet. They communicate with sound and frequency. They see things, they feel things. They, you've heard of stories of dolphins saving people's lives because they sense things way beyond what we can sense. So they're advanced, and yes, it's as though they switch something on in my brain for this heightened intelligence, and that's why I'm able to share advanced education on brain function, and how people can overcome the traumas and rebuild their brain based on neuroplasticity and epigenetics. These are all things proven in science now. So the dolphins are confirming that with these sounds. And that day when I was working on that person, I could see about the size of what I call the shadow frequency on the side of her head. It's like looked like a bruise, but it was in the invisible realm.
Right.
So I asked her what happened, and she had been punched in the head by a bully.
In that same area where you saw the shadow frequency. Wow.
Yeah. So, and she'd been having recurring nightmare that she couldn't shake it. So next thing I know, I started making sounds out of my voice and watched this bruise just dissolve into thin air, and it went to what I now call the womb of creation or the 0 point field. So when that happened...
And then what was her response? Did she feel that area was clear after that?
She said it felt light, she felt
Wow.
bright, she felt good. And she, you know, we went off in our own directions. Next day I saw her and she said she didn't have the nightmare. In fact, she had a beautiful dream that night.
Wow.
So we'd unraveled what I call unraveling history. And what the dolphins and the whales represent in unconditional forgiveness and love for humanity and actually for the oceans that we, you know, are surrounded by.
Yeah.
They share such a deep delta tone to keep balance in the bottom of the ocean floor, and it's their delta tones that collapse those shadow frequencies, and it just is really quite gentle and effortless, yet very strong.
Wow.
And then when people's brains and bodies start singing, their world within sings more, and then their world without sings. Just like your voice changed and or you felt it better, that is what happens for people.
Yeah, and you also encouraged me to do humming and toning and express with my voice what I was experiencing, and that was really helpful. So do you do one-on-one sessions as well as phone consultations? Like what are the technical aspects of the sessions?
So my one-on-one package, I do a minimum of 4 because for anyone who is overcoming trauma, but it can be a buildup of many emotions.
Right. It's because it's not just physical trauma.
That's right.
I mean, there's all kinds of different subconscious programming we get from a young age, and then there's emotional trauma. There's so many different things that we need to heal with our mind, right?
Absolutely. Grief, sadness, anger, rage, frustration, you name it. And so like I gave you those tools to use your voice, I help people tone those things out of them. It's not just me doing it. In fact, everybody is their own healer. Everybody's body and their genetics, their cellular light, actually when it's brightened, allows them that regenerative process. So that's all I do is act as a reflector or a conductor to let their body re-stimulate itself. It's beautiful when that happens. So with my one-on-ones, I do a minimum of 4 sessions because there is a tipping point to the brain to when we're coaching the neural pathways to rise up and come up into more the prefrontal, or as I call the angelic dolphin brain right here in everybody, or the high neocortex, which is known as the Einstein brain. We want people's neurons to get firing up here out of the reptilian brain and out of the lower brain looping mechanism, which keeps people stuck on a repeat cycle, which happened to me over and over again, and that's the definition of insanity.
Well, to all of us, really. I think.
So the sounds help people to get out of a looping mechanism and into their higher intelligence. And when they're in that place, they make higher choices. Then they have more health and well-being and better life experience, better, stronger relationships. So we have to do a minimum of 4 because it's as though a person goes to the gym and thinks they can build a muscle in one session. It's not the case. We need to really honor the precious and delicate nature of the brain, of the wiring and rewiring of the heart. And it's beautiful. So much can happen in 4 sessions. And it's
and I would strongly encourage all of you to check out Mahalia's website and the testimonials on there, because people have from all walks of life and different age groups have experienced incredible changes and transformations in their lives because of Mahalia's work. And I would highly recommend anyone. We are here based in White Rock, BC, but you can also join Mahalia's calls as well. No matter where you're coming from in the world, you can call in, and she actually does the toning, and it's deeply healing and refreshing. Like I said, unique, like nothing you've experienced before, and it's definitely worth a try to check it out. What is your website, Mahalia, so that people can check it out?
It's brain-bliss.com,
Okay.
or just brainbliss.ca. But I just want to let the viewers know also is that the work is done remotely as well. So I don't actually have to see you in person. You can do it through the phone or through Skype.
Okay, great.
I actually even do it without technology. Some of my best work happens late at night, because with light and sound there is no time and space. We are working in the age of time reversal transparency, which may be difficult for some people to understand. And I always tell people, try not to figure out brain bliss. It is the dolphins and the information is very advanced. It's more if you can just let yourself relax and go into that peace and find ways to let the sound and the light give you more pleasure, because your light is getting lit up on the inside. But with time reversal transparency, we are collapsing history based on these sounds with the whale tones to right back to your origin, the light within us, which is our birthplace. Every single person has a spark of light in their heart, known as, in medical terms, the bundle of His. It's where heart surgeons cannot actually operate in that area. It's so delicate and fragile. And that's the spark of every human being. That's the power of 10,000 suns. And so the more we liberate the heart from the heaviness and pain of the past, the more that light shines brightly, the more it supports the nervous system and the brain to be happy, basically, more enjoy that peace and contentment. So I call it really self-actualization. When we're present to that on the inside, and we think, well, look at the dolphins, they're having a good time. If, out in the wild, swimming in community, they're complex, creative, lots,
Absolutely. And in terms of that self-actualization, I noticed that you also really help people with their own self-healing and give them tools to do the toning on their own, and to get a new perspective on things. That's one of the things that you really help me with. I'm also curious too, and some of the viewers might be curious as to, because it seems like you've done a lot of research in the mind. What are some of the findings that you came up with, or what are some of the things that you sort of researched in terms of the mind and how the mind heals, how it works? Any thoughts on that?
Oh, a big one. And this is what we mostly address in our Brain Bliss programs, is the looping mechanism, as I mentioned, with the lower reptilian brain, the survival brain, and the cerebellum that is based on automation, and that's what keeps people on autopilot. Right. So if someone has road rage and they keep staying in that, they're then looping an emotional response through their middle brain that's working on releasing adrenaline and cortisol. So it's like people get a fix from these chemicals. It's a chemical reaction in the body. So what we do is train the brain to not have that reaction, so that people start to get used to different chemicals, such as oxytocin and their DMT, or spirit molecule, from
the more happier hormones in the brain.
So it's no longer a habit. Or for many people, stress addiction is huge, and it's one of the most difficult to overcome. So with the coaching, the longevity coaching, the guidance of understanding people's brains, that this is huge in our world right now. Huge. Like if you look at a soap opera and they're constantly in drama and things around, that is limbic brain and lower brain. And
it's just self-perpetuating, like a downward spiral, that sort of thing, right? So we need to uplift and come out of that state of drama and addiction, and up level, come up to a much more higher vibration, right? So it sounds like you've done a lot of scientific research, and you've read up a lot on the brain, and you've obviously done a lot of healing work on yourself, because you're feeling obviously much better and blissful.
I do, pretty much every day I'm a happy camper, and I share that. I dance every day. I feel like I'm 20 and free. It's that true sense of freedom and contentment, having that chronic broken heart for all those years, not knowing if I was even gonna make it on this planet up to my 40s,
Right.
was pretty scary. And it takes a lot of willpower. I let people know it takes commitment. It's not like a cakewalk, and it's not like you can expect someone to do it for you. For anyone like you working in the healing profession, you can't, a person can't just come and let you do the work.
Right.
We participate. That's why I give people tools, because I know this is a biological transformation people are doing with their brains. And the study of neuroplasticity now has proven that the brain can change itself. In fact, it can be better than it ever was when I was 20. Pretty sure my brain is better now. And we do use 100% of our brain because we have our brain waves. Alpha, beta, delta, theta, gamma, high, beta. They're always fluctuating like a musical instrument or a rainbow. So there's, I just love teaching the science with Brain-Bliss. I am not a doctor, of course. I don't treat, diagnose, or cure anything. I like to let people know that I'm just reflecting what I've adjusted within my own brain. And with the help of the whales and dolphins, their special, unique sounds that I'm able to reproduce very efficiently have a gift for whoever wants to participate in Brain-Bliss. And I do a free group call on the 1st of every month at 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's only 20 minutes. People just dial into a conference line and they can learn a bit about it, but also experience the light sound. We don't have any recordings at this time, but love people to participate in our programs and the one-on-ones. And we do a 2-day Brain-Bliss experience and immersion retreat, and that's fun as well.
Wonderful. Well, as I said, I highly recommend contacting Mahalia. What's the best way to contact you, Mahalia?
Well, email home at brain-bliss.com. People can write there and ask us any questions, and me and my Brain-Bliss tribe will get back to them.
Great. Mahalia is a loving, caring, beautiful soul. She's very empathetic. She's very intuitive. She's very aware of what you're going through. And again, strongly recommend her work. So do get in contact with her. If you'd like to contact me, you can contact me via earliareikimassage.com or chloeulis@gmail.com if you have any other questions. But please check out Mahalia's work on brain-bliss.com, correct?
Yeah.
And I guess that pretty much covers everything. I'm sure there's more we could discuss, but do get in touch with Mahalia if you have any further questions. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little introduction to Brain-Bliss today, and have a wonderful day. Bye.
Thank you.